Okay, guys. I am not getting anywhere with this video. So this is how we're going to do it. Mwah. Kisses to all my subscribers. Don't forget to hit like and leave a comment. Even if you don't, just tell me where you're from. Kisses to all of you. Thank you so much. I do want to tell my subscribers that little bit, Kira Amira, is going to school tomorrow. Her mommy is really frightened and scared. And honestly, she needs this video to just be a great one because of all kinds of reasons. I met the teacher. She's a great teacher. And tomorrow I drop her off and I'm scared. And so we'll see how it goes. Daddy will be with me. I just got off the phone with my mom. Me and my mom talked about it. And she told me to call her after I drop her off. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get started. I want to talk about the Maui. And then I'm going to talk about Meghan. I'm going to talk about Oprah Winfrey. And I'm going to talk about Ice Cube. I'm going to talk about Dan Wooden's show. I got a lot. But I'm going to start with Ice Cube because that's what I have on top. And then we're going to end with him. So basically, Ice Cube has come out and made a statement about how Meghan and Harry should have stayed in the royal family. Like they should have tried harder, or, she could have made a difference if she had stayed in the royal family. That's pretty much what he said. That the Compton statement, because he's from Compton. Ice Cube is a well-known rapper, and he played in a movie Straight Outta Compton. And he's got a lot of rap songs with Compton, and I kind of like his music. And so you can't tell me he wasn't offended by Meghan going on the Serena show, when she did our podcast, talking about how she wasn't from Compton, and she was almost insulted by it. She was upset that they called her straight from Compton. She called it racist. And it wasn't a racist statement. It was just a statement. And she is close to Compton because Harry told us on one of his book tours that Meghan, that she basically lived 30 minutes away from Compton. Well, I live 30 minutes away from Dallas, and I still live in Dallas. No, I don't want to live. Compton is, And so I believe he was offended, like I would have been if I lived in Compton, for her to snob it that way. Like she snobs everything else. Then she snobbed the castle that the Queen gave her. I don't remember her owning a castle to give to someone. First of all, she was living in an apartment Meghan Markle, when we first met her through Harry. Now all of a sudden she's entitled to all this wonderful stuff. He says, and I'm going to let Dan Wooden talk about it a little bit more, but let me just say this and move on. He's basically saying that if Meghan had been on the up and up, if she had been the woman that would have been representing us, then it would have been something great. But since she was on self and selfish and thinking about me, then it didn't go the way it should. And now, not just me, but the world is saying how Meghan always wanted Harry just for this reason. And that was to be on top. And that was to become an A-lister. And that was to become presidential. To become anything other than what she was before she met Harry. But she wants us to think that Harry needed her. No, honey, you needed Harry. And it shows every single moment, because Harry's the one that honestly is secretly suffering. Did you see him out there during this last trip? He just looked anxious. He looked like he didn't know if he should go left or right. He looked like he was just faking it. It was I've never seen Harry maybe he was having fun, and that's him having fun. And I haven't seen that in a while. Let's move on. So we'll talk about Ice Cube and what he said a little bit later. But I thought it was interesting. Maui, I am praying for those victims. I am praying for those families. And I'm hoping and praying that, it's so sad to just be caught off guard by fires or something that's tragic, and you wake up and it's just, and then you have to continue to go on, and so I feel for those people and my heart goes out to them. And I'm going to talk to my husband about doing something, and those that encourage others to donate, you should be the first. I'm not going to ask someone to do something. First of all, I'm just going to do it myself. I just noticed some other channels saying that, what others need to do. You do it. Okay, let's move on. Oprah, Maui. Now, Oprah has gone to Maui in the shelters and is trying to pretend like she's this big humanitarian that's coming to their rescue. And I decided that the best way to break this down is to allow Planet Popcorn to do it.
So pleased to have so many people.
Okay, so this is Oprah. Okay, so this is Oprah Winfrey. I'm switching. Let's move on. This is Oprah in Maui patting herself on the back, in my opinion, trying to let society know that she's here helping everyone. You don't have to have a camera crew or cameras following you and showing that you're this humanitarian. It looks gimmicky. It looks like, it looks like she's doing this for her own personal gain. Listen as hard as you can, guys, okay? And Popcorn Planet, I hope you don't mind me using a little bit of your footage.
There's not ways you could film to help without filming, Oprah? Like, you think jumping into the shelters right now with people who've just escaped their life, now is the time to shove your camera in their face? Oh, well, guess what? She did it anyway. Here she is, giving it to ET, BBC. Here she is in the shelters, still talking about herself. How does it feel to be here, ma'am? It's a little overwhelming,
It's a little overwhelming,
You think? But I'm really so pleased to have so many people, supporting, and, people are just bringing what they can and doing what they can.
Oprah Winfrey, a Maui homeowner, lending a helping hand following the tragic wildfires on the island.
We're going to get right to an update on the latest in Maui with the wildfire disaster there. Authorities are now saying at least 55...
And so here's the update on Maui. Oh, and here's Oprah delivering pillows, guys.
Here it is.
Handing out supplies at a local shelter in Lahaina, including pillows, cots, and toiletries.
So I came earlier just to see what people needed. And then...
Okay, you gotta watch the Popcorn Planet. Just watch the whole segment. These are just clips. But anyway, Oprah's on here handing out pillows, and one gentleman is literally asleep. He's asleep on his cot, and she's putting a pillow down, and it's just like, I don't need a pillow. If I was in one of those shelters, I would be like, listen, leave me a check because my house is gone, and I'm going to need to rebuild. I don't need a pillow. But not even that. Okay, fine. You want to give out pillows and you want to do that. Why is she broadcasting it? Why are we watching her during someone else's tragedy? Kind of almost, in my opinion, trying to make herself look like a humanitarian. Trying to make herself, it's almost a Meghan moment. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're moving on. I don't know what happened. Like, she wants some Coke, and Daddy said no. And then it got really bad, and then I guess she got her Coke. She didn't get the Coke. She ended up getting milk. And everything is good. Sorry, back to it. Let's see what else is he saying. So basically, what I was saying is, it just looks kind of weird for Oprah to be out here this way. And it just does. And I'm not saying that it's probably not genuine. But what I'm saying is, it's just that if it was me sitting there on one of them cots, I don't want to really see you or people right now. I'm just trying to comprehend what's going on around me. And to my understanding, that these shelters were not allowing her to go in. Let's see what else.
Went shopping as often.
You're telling me she just lets random strangers follow her with their phones? Come on.
Okay.
Come on. There's no way this dude's allowed to be there unless there's security and people involved helping protect her. This dude's literally stalking her with a camera.
So this guy is like behind her and videotaping. You gotta watch this, Popcorn Planet.
Oh, look at that smile. Good for you, Oprah. Oh, and let's hear Gail defend her too.
Here's the kicker.
Yesterday, she was literally walking out the door.
So, oh God, you know what? So here's Gail the next day, right? Pumping her up, pumping her best friend up, trying to let us know that she's this humanitarian. Check it out.
Because I said, where are you going? She said, I'm going down to see what's happening at the shelters.
This is CBS Morning News. And the stories about how much Oprah's helped.
Oprah's bestie, Gail King, sharing more details.
And now ET's reporting on CBS reporting that Oprah's helped a lot, guys.
On the TV personality's mission to help.
She said, I want to go see for myself, see what people need, work with people individually, and give directly to the people. So I know she's doing that, and I know she's doing that in a very big way.
So
she's been to Lanai
she's given pillows and shampoo, guys.
many times. Loves all things Hawaii, and the people of Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's good.
This is the thing about Oprah. Nothing
Okay.
makes
So basically, it's just, you should see it. It's a little overkill. Like, Oprah is really out there doing that. And it just looks a little gimmicky. It just looks like this is what I really think. I really think that The Sound of Freedom, I believe that's the name of the movie that Mel Gibson, The Sound of Freedom. And then, God, I'm trying to get it back together because a little bit was just, I was so upset. And Daddy was too. And so they're all back together again. Gail gets on there and starts pumping her up and trying to make her feel like she's some savior. And before she pumps her up, that's the same thing she did on that Oprah show. Because with Meghan, they had the Oprah show. Then the next day, like Sue Smith said, then they had Gail on there instigating it about the bombshell moment about racism when Meghan was lying. And so here she go, pumping her friend up on CBS, saying how to me, Oprah was trying to make sure that everyone knew she was out there doing what she was doing, which was handing out pillows and shampoo. I'm just trying to think, what do I need with shampoo? He goes on and on and on and talks about a little bit more of her, and I'm done with that. But it's just interesting how Gail gets on there and goes in and in and in. So basically, Oprah is on there the day before with BBC, and BBC shows her around. But the next day, I guess she comes back with this cameraman from CBS trying to show that she's still out there helping and she's going to be there for the long haul. Okay. Someone said she's over there with that 18 1,000-acre home in Malibu that hasn't been touched that could house some of these people. Oprah's not doing that. Oprah is about showing, though. Look how she's trying to show everyone that I remember when she went to the Hurricane Katrina site. And it was after Hurricane Katrina, but I remember her being there. And that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, moving on. So I want, this is me. Raise your hand if you think Harry should be removed from line of succession. Should he be entitled to be king if he's given that opportunity? Do you agree that he should? Just tell me in the comments. And I would have to say no. I would be very frightened and scared that Meghan could be maybe the queen. She could. It is not impossible that Meghan could be Queen of England one day if Harry becomes king. And so that is so big to me. And when I say that, I think about that and I wonder how two idiots decided to give royal life up to live a life of celebrity. A life that she knows nothing about, and thought that she was going to swoosh her way in there, Meghan Markle, by being the Duchess of Sussex, and that was going to get her to the top. And it did. But she was already at the top when she went down, when she went to Montecito. Because when she flew into Montecito, that's when everything started going to hell. Because she miscalculated it. She did. See, she miscalculated her fame, her fortune, and what she had in her husband. And that she did have everything that she needed to become this great influencer, this great money-making person. Whatever she wanted to be, Meghan should be. She should not be where she is at all. She had it all. She was beloved instantly, regardless. That means we like you and we don't even know you. We don't know you. We don't know where you're from. We don't know all about you. We just know that you are about to marry a prince, someone that we care about and liked at one point. Prince Harry. That's gone. We thought we thought you had a reputation. We thought that you thought smarter when picking someone for your country and to have kids with and to live with, and you pick someone so selfish you can't even think straight. Harry's thoughts and wishes and dreams and goals and whatever Harry wants and whatever, his life is no longer a life. He lives the life of Meghan. Oh, okay, so this whole thing, Invictus thing, he's going back to, that's his baby. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I heard that Netflix was taking care of that. That is something that he cultivated before Meghan. So she can't really destroy that, can she? I don't know. But the whole Tig story, why would I go? Here we go. So I marry a prince, right? Okay. And then 5 years later, I do all this crap that she's doing. And then I decide, I'm going to go back to being a HR director or something like that. Why would I go back to doing something that I used to do? If you loved it before you left, then why did you leave it at all? That's why Chelsea has integrity and Meghan doesn't. Because whatever reason Chelsea decided not to be with Harry anymore, she chose it because not in a selfish way, but a way that she knew that she didn't want to live the life that he had planned, had to, or just whatever. She didn't want it. And so that's her choice. But there's 1,000,000,002 women that would love and that would sacrifice. And so he thought this one would, Meghan. But the thing is that she was woman enough to say it. Meghan did it for that reason only. She did it because she needed his notoriety so people could notice her in LA. And now when she's out and about everywhere, oh my God, she's coming out. And WME must have said, listen, you're going to have to show your face. You're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to be seen so people can start getting used to seeing you. Because if she's bringing out the TIG and going to be talking and showing her face, and if she's, can you imagine her on there advertising something? Ooh, Jesus, it's going to go really bad. Right now, Meghan doesn't get the best press, in my opinion. And I don't help. But what I'm saying is that she's not liked. So it's not something you're going to find something great about something that this person is doing because of their behavior. And so it's hard for us to be like, oh, that's really nice. She's coming out with the TIG. Okay, so someone was explaining the TIG as if you have like you're advertising makeup or something. And then, okay, so this is what she used to do, Meghan. She was advertising like makeup or something, and you get like a box of makeup, and then she gets like a percentage of the money or something like that. So I think if we buy the merchandise, it's stupid. It sounds like a infomercial. It sounds like, oh, here's this lotion. This lotion is wonderful. If you buy it, I get, whatever. I love it. I use it for everything. My point is that so she gets a percentage for showing you guys this or like advertising it or something like that. Does that sound like someone that has a lot of deals, a lot of jobs lined up, a lot of people at her doorstep wanting her to brand or advertise or so on? Hold on. Sorry, I went. Okay, let's move on. I was like, does she have to talk? Is she going to be talking? Like, is she going to be talking? I just don't, like, look at her. She comes outside and it's not good. She can't get any good publicity. And the publicity that she is getting, it's forced. It's just not it. Oof. So I read an article or saw an article that people are excited about her TIG. Is that true? And that there were 600,000 people already waiting for her to subscribe or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's not a lot of people. I mean, what would be considered a lot of people? Like millions or 1 million? I don't know. But just because they're subscribed to you doesn't mean that they're going to buy these products, does it? Okay, we'll see. How many of you believe that this TIG will make her millions of dollars and will be a way for her to be able to stay in Montecito? Is this it? Is this her brand? Because it's not really a brand, is it? It's everybody else's brand. It's everybody else's. This doesn't belong to me. I'm just advertising it. So isn't that what she's going to be doing? Advertising. That's my thing. It's like she's 50, 40, or 42, whatever. And I don't know. It's so much. It's just weird. You married a prince, and then you decided you wanted to go to Hollywood and start a career at 40 something. Oh, okay. But before then, they wouldn't let you in. All of a sudden, you Gayle King and Oprah's best friend, allegedly. I want to know, do you guys honestly think that I don't see it. I don't see it, but you know what? I could be wrong. I could be wrong that she could make a lot of money and be able to survive on this TIG. I just don't see it. I don't see Americans thinking that that's a talent or being like, oh, did you see Meghan's TIG today? Mommy Shark, did you see Meghan's TIG today? Ugly Foster, did you see it? Like, come on. If we do see it, it's gonna be the joke, and it's not gonna be something that makes her look great. They become the joke. They become an outcast. They have not become what they should be. And it's getting worse because I'm calling it the rehash of the TIG. I mean, this is rehashing old stuff. Yeah, you were making what, $100,000 a year on it, or what? I don't know how much she was making, but they're trying to say that she's going to be competing with Gwyneth Paltrow. Why are they even competing? Why is that even a competition? But for what? Who's buying these products? So I'm just wondering, maybe the Success Squad is going to buy Meghan's products and going to run out and help her support. She's already got 600,000 people that's waiting on it. Like someone said, you went from being, honestly, she went from being a princess, literally, to a tigger. We don't call her a tigger. Yeah. She done went from being a royal, HRH, a princess. They done snatched that off the wall. Let me show it out again. And it snatched her HRH's, girl. You are just the Duchess of Sussex. That's it. You are not your highness, your royal highness. So there's no more bowing down to you. Was there ever? When she was in New York, she thought she was still in the UK. I really truly believe it. When she was in the UK that one time when she was reading that book to them kids and then waving like she was still in the UK. No one was there. She didn't have a crowd. I do believe that when Prince and Princess Catherine come over here, that they will have a nice welcoming crowd. I'm sure. Okay, so before I go, I know I was all over the place, guys, and it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed it. However, I do want you to see this video. Hold on. Okay, this is a little long. I'm going to try to cut it off. But let's go. Let's see how far
And
we
he was
get.
the man who inspired the infamous, but I think actually completely harmless, straight out of Compton headline about Meghan Markle in 2016 when she first started dating Harry. Rapper Ice Cube penned the song of the same name as part of gangster rap group NWA in 1988, and he's now stepped forward to reject claims that linking the phrase to
Look that
Meghan's
word up.
upbringing was racist.
Because somebody say you come straight out of Compton and it has a tone of, you know, you come out the hood or you come out the ghetto or you come out. It's great people that come out of those places.
Right?
So, at the beginning of my video, just a second. Okay, so at the beginning of my video, I was talking about Ice Cube. And, God, I don't like the way I look. Okay, so Ice Cube just made a statement saying, you know, pretty much saying what I was saying earlier about, you know, coming from Compton. And I can't help but to believe that he took offense to what Meghan said about Compton, because she made it seem as if it was not a great place. I mean, you can have fame come out of anywhere or any place. And for her to diss it like that, it's the same way that she dissed the Queen giving her a cottage, giving her somewhere to stay, as if she paid for it, or as if she said, oh, no, I can help pay for it out of the money I made from Suits. No, it was given to her. And then she treats it like a snobbery kind of a thing. But like I said, if I was Serena, I would have took offense to how she treated my hometown, because her girlfriend, Serena, is straight out of Compton. And Meghan made it seem like it was some, just some ghetto place. And it was really, I've said this before, really derogatory. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Ice Cube took offense to it because he comes from there. And I have to rewind that, because he is a producer. He's also produced several movies, Barbershop, Are We There Yet? I believe he's produced some movies. He's got and next Friday was really good too. Okay, I hope that's better. I know I don't have on my lashes and stuff, so bear with me, guys. So anyway, of course Ice Cube is from there. They have a whole movie, that they did pretty much straight out of Compton. And so Meghan was rude. And so let's see what else they have to say about it.
Bombshell new interview, he also said Harry and Meghan should have stayed in the royal family if they really wanted to make global change. Fresh off the back of new reports that the late Queen never stopped hoping the Sussexes would one day return to the fold.
I think, when you're in the house, you can make more changes to the house than when you're outside of the house. So, that's kind of my opinion, If they would stuck it out, they might have been able to make some changes.
So what do you think on this? Is Ice Cube right that Harry and Meghan should have stayed at...
So that was Ice Cube, yes, saying that when you're in the house, you can make more changes than being outside the house. And it's just almost like, excuse me. It's almost like there's no excuse for it. Like, I love when he says that, because he says a lot in that sentence. They were running. They were trying to get out of there. They had to go. Meghan made the decision that she was not cut out to be a royal, but she was never going to be a royal. She married him for his status alone. So she never, Ice Cube, I want to tell him that she never planned to be a part of his world. a part of Harry's world and about royalty. She was too busy trying to get over here to do a TIG. She has reduced herself down to doing the TIG again, because that's like the reason why they came all the way back over here to Montecito. She should have so many deals that we can't even think straight. But the only thing that we're waiting on is the TIG. And that's some stuff that she has to advertise. And hopefully that people want her to. She has reduced herself down to this. It's a reduction. I'd rather play in a movie. I'd rather for Tyler Perry to save me for a movie. That's what I would say. Listen, I'm hard up and I need some money. Put me in one of your movies. But this TIG thing, you can't glamour that up. It's just not going to get... We'll see. We talked about that. But what he was saying was something that Meghan was never going to do. She was never cut out to be the wife of a prince. And because Harry needed someone that would be like Catherine. Someone that's more about the monarchy, about the people, about serving, about doing what she married her husband to do. And da-da-da-da-da. No, he married someone that was total selfish about herself. And so when Ice Cube says that, he would be having to talk about someone that wasn't talking about, always thinking about themselves. Yes, she could have did more. She could have been one of the most famous half black, whatever she want to call herself, women in the world, and be loved and be revered and loved and cared about, just like Catherine is. There was room for Meghan. And the interesting part about it is that Catherine made room for her. And even if there was issues from Meghan, because I don't believe anything that she says happened to her. I don't. But like Chris Rock said, that's in-law stuff. That's stuff that goes on in your family, that no family is perfect. And why would it be her coming from America, divorcee, actress, into this dynasty of a royal home? And this is, and I know I have something to say. Let me finish his video, because one of the ladies on here kind of get under my skin, and I don't want to forget that part. But my point is that she had it all and she lost it. I don't see it. I don't see the spark. I don't see the glow. I don't see the hoopla about her and her-ness. I don't. It's not there, the star power. I don't see the star power. And so WME doesn't have that on their hands. They have something else. And you can almost get away with star power, but then you have those that are going to love you no matter what. That's the Sussex Squad, and keep making excuses. The excuses is so pathetic, because I could agree with you that, yeah, I kind of go a little hard on her sometimes myself, and I have to be like, okay, back up, or whatever, because she's a person. But yes, she still is a human being. And so that's why I don't promote the hate. I dislike her as a human person, but I don't hate her. That is no. But let's move on. That's not where I went. I went too deep. Anyway, let's move on. Ice Cube is telling her, you could have had it all. And you can't do anything outside of it. He even broke that down to her. He said, you are outside of the royal fold. Ice Cube, she's been erased. They removed her. Okay, so I'm going to just...
They would stuck it out, they might have been able to make some changes.
So what do you think on this? Is Ice Cube?
So if they had stuck it out, they might have been able to make some changes. But you can't make changes if you're not there. That's what he says. And she was never intended to make changes. She was never going to change the world or be a part of this big, oh, I'm going to be, this great. She could have been. She could have been. Oh my God. It's interesting to me that she gave it up. And what she gave it up for is just stupid. The TIG, to get millions, that was it. Montecito is worth it. Oh my goodness gracious. It blows your mind when it blew my mind when I heard her say it, that they were stepping down. It was their decision. Let's continue.
Right that Harry and Meghan should have stayed in the royal family to make changes from within. Doing battle on this now, the broadcaster and Sussex supporter Nina Mishkov and the royal insider socialite Lady Victoria Harvey.
Okay, come on, Dan.
Lady V, Ice Cube is right, isn't he?
Yes, I actually do totally agree with him. I think they could have actually really made a big impact if they had actually stayed. And because right now, every week, they're losing something else. I think there's the HRH titles off the website. So I think...
She said, you know what? Yeah, they should have stayed because every week they're losing something else. This week they're losing the HRH titles, This is the fall. This is it. This TIG thing is going to be gimmicky and jokey. It's just going to be I'm looking at her like this. You stepped down. You gave your HRHs up. You gave royalty up to talent out the TIG. That's a talent. Come on, guys. Is that a talent?
To be honest, a year or so, I don't think they're going to be left with much. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it so that children cannot be hereditary, in line to the throne. Wouldn't be surprised.
Nina Mishkov, Ice Cube makes a very good point. If they talk all the time about wanting to make social change, why the hell did they not just stick it out instead of moaning about the size of their mansion at Kensington Palace?
Firstly, I think he was talking about changing the royal family from the inside. I don't think
it doesn't matter what he was talking about.
No, this is important, because if he was talking about changing the royal family from the inside, that's a very good point. But the point was they didn't have any choice.
Nina.
They were pushed
They didn't
out.
have any choice.
They tried and they were pushed out because we've
what?
been through this before, Dan.
Pushed
Harry
out.
and Meghan became far more popular than William and Kate, and that is not the way of the world.
Nina!
Do you remember the wedding? Do you
Nina!
remember the wedding? And after that, the press, the palace made it clear to the press
You
that
have
Kate and
swallowed
William.
hook,
I
line,
have
and
not.
sinker the talking
Kate
points
and William.
from Team Sussex.
Listen, I've thought this myself from the beginning, and only when I read Harry's book did I realise that what I've been thinking all along was actually true.
Lady
Because
V wants to comment.
Look, when it comes to the stories that they swap the stories in the palace,
So she says that they were pushed out, and that's not how the story is. So many stories told. First, it was the press that pushed him out. Then Meghan was lonely and on the steps, suicidal. That did it. And now this person, Nina, is telling us that they got pushed out by the royal family because, come to find out, Meghan was outshining Catherine and they were pushed out. And then something about some stories. That's that stupid stuff. You can't push someone out the family once you're in the family. They're in the family. Meghan and Harry were in the family. And no one was pushing them out. Meghan was cutting up so she could leave. No, they didn't push these two out. And yes, Meghan was Meghan was the thing on the runway at that time. Of course she was going to get recognition. And Catherine shared the stage with her during the time that she was having her third king. So take that out. It's not the third king because she's got Charlotte's queen. But you know what I'm saying. Royalty. And she stepped aside and said, you know what? Let Meghan give Meghan her moment. And that's what I saw Catherine do at the wedding.
Like, that is true. Like,
everybody did.
Those stories are true.
Everybody bowed down to Meghan. Everybody was nice to Meghan. Everybody rolled out the red carpet for Meghan. The queen let her pick her tiara, whatever she wanted. She allowed the taxpayers to pay the £30 million wedding that she was talking about, the spectacle. She got what she wanted, that she asked for, because Harry made sure of that. And they were giving her what she wanted. And Meghan was over there demanding it anyway, thinking that she was better than Catherine. Well, if Catherine can have it, how come I can't have it? Because you're not the queen. Why is that difficult? Let's go.
Yes, they were very popular. Maybe the older brother didn't like that, but at
So?
the end of the day,
Harry and Meghan were leaking stories all the time.
I just don't think they would have
leaking stories.
They were.
But they clearly did not want to stick it out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very
They do it now.
obvious from the very beginning that Meghan was always going to take him to America. Like,
yeah, this was the
like,
plan.
I remember doing an interview when they first met, before they were married, and I did this interview in America, and I said, I guarantee you she's going to take him off to America. They're going to have the kids over there. They're going to break
This was
up.
the plan. She used the British royal family to advance her political ambitions. And someone like Ice Cube made such a good point. She could have been one of the most powerful figures for change in the world if she had
still will be.
charity.
And she still will be. No, she won't. What is she changing? Meghan's not an activist for something or charitable for something. Have y'all heard of it? Meghan is on self-awards and patting herself on the back for not doing things and so on and so on. So, no, her chances of showing us her becoming something great has sailed. She didn't cut it in the UK, and she's not cutting it over here in the United States. And it's not our fault.
So she still
She
will.
won't
She
now.
still will be.
Well, she's a run-of-the-mill celebrity now.
And the point being that the royal family really, really need them and miss them and should.
Nina, come on. The royal family don't miss them and they don't need them. If anything, they need them to stay away. That doesn't help the royal family. It hinders them. The mere fact that they are attached to the royal family just puts a ding on it. Just a small one, but it does. Because you got two dings that's going on in the royal family that's not good on the royal family. The royal family doesn't need or want that type of publicity. They don't want to know that Meghan and Harry are over here making fools of themselves. I'm sure. I'm sure William is not saying, I'm glad this is happening to my brother. No. I'm sure he's like, oh, Jesus. I'm sure he's I'm sure this is what I believe, and this is just me. I believe Catherine is seeing that William is probably worried about his brother over here with Meghan and these shenanigans. And I do believe that Catherine reaches out to Harry, because I do believe that Catherine knows that Harry is being bewitched by this woman. And that when he comes to, he's going to be sorry. But no, them being great and all that. It's funny how she thinks the royal family is going to be running with open arms to Meghan after they trusted her, after they let her into their home, into their family, into their lives, into their country, into their people. Yeah, no, can't trust that. Don't trust it. And so when they do come over or visit, because they can't stop family members from coming over, I guess, that they have rules. And if you don't follow those rules, then you're not getting in. No cell phones, no this, no that. They have been kicked out of the royal fold. Meghan is no longer, she has Harry. But Harry doesn't have a relationship with his family. So that's a done deal. And so, okay. And so Meghan doesn't and won't ever. And then they got the 2 kids. They're in hiding. Okay, so what is it? Meghan's in Hollywood doing what? Okay. The TIG. The who? I didn't know about it then, and it don't even sound like it's fun now. And I doubt it. I know for a fact that I won't even click. Nope. No. I'm not giving you. Listen, she has made enough money off of using people. She has. She slithered. Okay, she walked into the royal family and met a prince and fell in love. And then they came over here. And Ice Cube says it. Yes, she could have did a lot more over there, in the institution, than her getting on the website. And after Nina, they decided that they didn't want to be royals anymore and come out with their own statement saying how they were stepping down to make their own money. So I guess this TIG is going to be their own money. That this is the beginning of them making their own money, because they wasn't making it before when they were trashing the royal family on the Oprah show. Let's continue.
Have them in their phone. When at the coronation, when you looked at that balcony lineup, some commentator said, "Oh, it's much too white," which is not actually.
I think it looks empty.
No, I tell you
what, it's much too white.
Dull. Yeah. There's no charisma there. It was filled with Camilla's relatives, who we don't care about. I don't care about Camilla either. But it was. But who have they got? Oh, and that. You talk about this.
Nina was rude. She was like, I don't care about them either. No, I think Nina is messed up. Why would she say that about Camilla and her family? We don't care about them either. She was talking about when that lady from Bridgerton made that nasty comment that the balcony was all white. And my question to her was, who made it that way? Because no one told her to scoopity-doo back over here to the United States to create a TIG. No one told her to do that. No, she decided to step down, Nina. Nobody forced her out. Did nobody put a gun to Meghan's head and tell her to marry this prince? And no one told her she had to stay in the UK. Look at her. She left. She's gone. And she's taking it. And what kills me is that when she was saying that we didn't have any tabloids, and she's been in there every moment you can think of, and not in the best light lately at all. And to me, this would be a really bad moment because she wasn't getting this kind of press in the beginning. She was getting praised and good press and, oh, she's doing great and all this good stuff because the United States was praising her and so was the UK until the shenanigans. Let's continue.
Sussex is upsetting the Queen. What about Charles? He waited till his mother died. She said Camilla should be Queen Consort. No more than that. As soon as she died, suddenly...
But this is a hereditary monarchy and he's the boss now then.
No, absolutely. But that's not what the Queen wanted. It is not what the Queen wanted.
What's the difference? Consort, or Queen Camilla? I mean, like, what's the difference? She's still the Queen. Okay.
He's in charge now.
Oh, he's in charge. So he's in charge. All Charles wanted was to have Camilla rehabilitated into society and to become Queen. He's got that. And now the palace machinery needs, for the next two...
compared to what these two have done, that's really light to me. That's nothing. Because why wouldn't you? She's working hard for you guys. Nina, every time she's supporting her husband, she support everything that he's doing for you guys. And that's how I put it. That's how Catherine's doing it. And Meghan said, oh no, I'm not helping you and your people, Harry. I'm going to help myself. Let's go.
Push things forward. And Harry and Meghan were standing quite innocently in the way of that because popularity was...
This is ludicrous to suggest that Harry and Meghan were somehow innocent bystanders and had nothing to do with the exit.
I don't think they were ever going to be like more popular than William and Kate.
No.
Of course they were at that time.
But they weren't.
Victoria,
it was like, because it was a new couple and she's American, it was something new and something different.
We loved her. We loved her until she realised that she was all about herself.
Because of that, they have paid the price. Listen, William and Kate, when they went to the Caribbean, was a complete disaster.
Okay, Lady V wants to come in. Final word.
I just lost my train of thought right now. But she basically, Meghan Markle, she never wanted to be royal. She wanted to be a celebrity. She didn't want to be going around hospitals. She didn't want to be doing all the tough stuff that
she didn't like going to Nottingham. The community centres. Nina, you're not going to be Nina.
She has worked hard.
Nina. She doesn't know the meaning of hard work. She hasn't done a day's hard work in her life.
What started like... come on. And what about Kate? I have heard many stories about Kate from years.
What have you heard?
I'm not going to.
What have you heard? Because I'll be able to tell you the truth.
I am not going to repeat this.
Don't tell me what you heard.
Gossip.
I'm absolutely not going to say.
Okay, well let me tell you, because I actually broke this story and I know that it's true. One of the first reasons that Kate and Meghan fell out was because Kate heard the despicable way that Meghan was speaking to staff at Kensington Palace, and Kate told Meghan, you do not speak to my staff in this way.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
I have impeccable sources.
Exactly.
So Nina, until you find me some evidence of Kate treating staff terribly.
So it sounds like Catherine checks Meghan and tells her, listen, stop speaking to my staff like that. A bully. Treating them like her servants. Like, it's in Tom Bower's book. It's all over the place. How... Well, you can just ask her old friends. I mean, like, it just goes down the list. Meghan has become this... that Ice Cube, we are so far from making coulda, woulda. I think we are so far from that. We are probably trying to salvage, or just trying to fix any little reputation that she may have left But what she's doing is not WME is good for her reputation. You just keep popping her out there and okay, whatever. Just push it out there, the Titanic.
You'd be used as a patsy by people who want to drop information.
So can you. So can you.
I'm not. Nobody's
So can you.
This is my own thoughts of my own opinions.
Lady Victoria, brilliant clash as ever. Thank you both. Who do you agree with? Should Harry and Meghan have stayed in the royal family to make?
No, they wasn't going to stay in the royal family. Listen, I'm out of here, guys. Because Meghan was always coming back over here to do her dig. To do something. It's really, to me, shameful that you went from that to that. It really is. And I think people like Ice Cube and the rest of her celebrity friends, because he's an A-lister, that, in my opinion, because he's got it going on, that she would have did a lot more good if she had stayed in the royal family. But she is so far from that. She was never going to stay in the royal family. She was always going to try to come back over here and try to be what Ice Cube does. Act, produce. It blows my mind. And now no one's knocking at her door saying, "Let me in. I want to put you on our roster. We want you to show off our clothes," and not Louis Vuitton. I want to know what brands she's going to be coming out with that's going to be boom. Because if you're not showing something that is in those magazines that your peers are buying, I don't see this working out, guys. I really don't. I don't see the tag, and I'm anxious to see it come out because I want to see if I'm right. Listen, Little Bit goes to school tomorrow. Wish me luck, guys. Kisses.